some amazing surprises lined up for you today. And before we start, I would like to shout out to the critters watching and give a big welcome to everyone joining that is new to Critical Role and the legend of Vox Machina.
So this is live at New York Comic Con right now, on the main stage.
A group of veteran voice actors who started out as friends playing an RPG around a living room table, who then went on to create epic stories, live streamed to the entire world. That gang launched a crowdfunding campaign for an animated special based on
yeah, that was a thing.
the first live stream campaign. And thanks to you, it became the most funded film and video project in Kickstarter history.
Something like 11 million.
And now we get a whole 2 seasons produced by Amazon Studios. Okay, so now that you are up to speed, let's introduce them, the cast of Critical Role. Hey gang, what is the legend of Vox Machina?
Oh, the Legend of Vox Machina is an animated high fantasy tale of a group of kind of ragtag, up-and-coming adventurers, heroes that try to find their way in the world, and in doing so get pulled into intrigue, into drama, into major action-packed, conflict and battles, while also just a bunch of ridiculous, silly people in the process.
Hype Man Matt is like my favorite Matt. That was really good.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's really great.
It is a lie.
Think Princess Bride, but with magic thrown in, and all kinds of shenanigans.
Apparently, it starts with me. Hi, I'm Matthew Mercer. I voice
Oh.
Silas Briarwood, this pale fella over here who is an antagonistic force throughout the campaign of season 1.
Loving the art.
As well as many other characters throughout the game. I'm scattered.
Those of you who might be familiar with it, one of the lead artists for the Legend of Vox Machina TV series worked on a lot of the DC Marvel animated stuff that's floating around right now.
Travis Willingham. I play Grog Strongjaw. He is a ragey half-giant with a heart of gold, but he's not too
No.
But he loves shiny things. He is.
He has an intelligence of 6.
Hi, on the Legend of Vox Machina, the show that we're talking about, I play Scanlan Short. Oh, my name's Sam Riegel. Oh my God. I play Scanlan Shorthall. Yep. Okay, like this. He is a musical, magical maestro of mischief. He's a little raunchy. He's a little dirty. He's a
Little raunchy. Good lord. That's an understatement.
Yep.
How about you? You made it through 3. Let's go 4.
Yeah, 4 for 4. Here we go. I'm not gonna mess this up.
Oh, wow.
My name is Marisha Ray, and I play Keyleth. She's over there. Shari, who's an awkward but adorable, lovable wielder of nature magic, and she's just trying to find her place in the world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's kind of the naive one of the group.
Jeez, yeah, set me up for failure. My name is Liam O'Brien, and I play vax'ildan. I am our rakish and charming B&E expert.
Scanlan.
And I'm one half of this show's Wonder Twins set, which is paired up with this lovely actress right here.
Sam! Good lord, dude.
Oh, I should just go straight into it.
Yes!
Set you up, spike it.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Laura Bailey. Harp noise. Hi, I play vex'ahlia. She's half elven. She's an archer. She's hot.
She also has a pet bear named Trinket.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, as in grizzly bear.
There's more to her, but you have to watch the show to see.
That's right.
Whoops, spoilers.
Yes.
Who voices Trinket, I wonder?
Hello, my name
Oh,
is
God.
Allison Jaffe, and I play Percy DeRollo, who is a
Oh, they didn't go the full name.
exile who also invented this world's first firearm and is mysterious with a dark past.
See the name.
That's how you do it. And also hot.
Baseline, everybody's hot.
Yeah, pretty hot.
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
Oh, well, hi, you.
There you are.
Oh, hey! My name is Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
And no, this way. I'm playing Pike Trickfoot, who is the group's sort of mama bear. She's the group's healer. She cares for everybody. Her best buddies is Grog Stonejaw.
Oh no! Come on!
Some of those of you who may know.
Yes.
Well done. We did it.
Good lord, this group.
The energy on this panel is absolutely feral.
Viral's one word for it. Good lord.
Legends of Vox Machina are not taken from live stream campaign material.
Oh, right. Oh yeah.
How? What? Why? Where did that come from?
Well, we.
That was the original
wanted to
Kickstarter goal.
Set the entire audience off on the same foot, right? So you don't have to know what Critical Role is or have ever seen us play an RPG game to just jump right into the series and start to meet these characters and explore the world. So the
Fair
first,
enough, fair dues.
2 episodes sort of set up the world and the characters and the intrigue and the
Hmm.
highlights that they're going to encounter in this season. But it also sort of sets up the whole season. Like we'll meet some of the dark villains that will be posing more of a threat to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's cool about it is these 2 episodes, while they weren't on the live stream, they are part of the overall Legend of Vox Machina. They are based on when we had this as a home game before we started streaming. So
Home game games.
The audience, they are very much in canon with the.
That's kind of interesting because prior to the stream they had Orion's character, Tiberius Stormwind, who was a Dragonborn sorcerer, but he's not a part of the crew anymore, so
Keep saying 8 years and time moves on.
gonna be interesting to see how that plays out.
For about 20 of those.
Yeah.
Should be interesting to see how this goes.
Just the live stream show, you know, there were over 400 hours of content just in that first.
Oh yeah,
campaign.
Travis and Laura are
New
yeah,
first
which made watching the romance, which made watching campaign 2 very entertaining. To be fair, it just makes watching them entertaining either way.
Going back and seeing all the characters, revisiting all these moments, and hitting the things that we loved, but also that we know are so near and dear to the critters' hearts as well.
That was one of the coolest things is knowing, like everybody got to say what was most important to them within the campaign and the moments that really stuck out to them, and we made sure to incorporate those into the show.
And then the
That's
first
good.
arc is the Briarwood arc, which is a very, very popular fan favorite. It's
Yes!
something that was on everybody's list of oh, we really want this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to start anywhere else.
Yeah.
It feels like
Yeah.
it's just the obvious jumping off
Mhm.
point.
Yeah, I mean, we had been playing this RPG with each other at each other's homes, and then, of course, as we broadcast it on our live stream show. But I think for all of us, when we got to the Briarwood arc of telling the story of Vox Machina, that was the first time that it sort of clicked for all of us that this isn't just a game. We're not just goofing with each other anymore. We're telling a real story here, and I think it's full.
Yeah, I will have to agree. I will have to agree with them on that one.
I'm not saying that we make art all the time, but that's the first time that I really was oh my god, we're making something by playing with each other.
Campaign, the arc which they had it down in Craghammer, which then led to Briarwood, did kind of feel like a kind of a continuation from something prior to that. So.
Together. I think our relationships started to grow with each other as characters, and everything got more intertwined and deeper, and I think that shows in that.
Oh, definitely.
It was the narrative for the Briarwood arc was where we began to make jokes about how cinematic it felt in our imagination. And we were being like, man, this would be really great in an animated series. That'll never happen.
Dun dun dun.
Well, here we are. And it's been a really exciting process.
You made your bed, now you got to lie in it.
Moment to see them realize to an incredible, mind-blowing degree. And we just can't believe we're here.
I have gotten a little sneak peek, and it is gorgeous. The style is gorgeous. Can you tell me a little bit about, going with that animation studio and why you decided to make it a hard R, not for kids?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for us, the show that we tell every week is an adult show. Right? There's language, there's
Oh, yeah.
situations, there's I know it's true, it happens. But it's important for us to tell a story that's similar in the way to what we started with. And And so for us, there were a lot of different ways we could have approached the show. We could have done something zany. We could have done, different animation styles that you see these days. But for us, we had talked about it conceptually. We're kids of the 80s, right? So we have like a closeness to a certain style of storytelling that was adapted back then. So, we found the amazing Phil Barassa to come in. He designed all of our characters, and once we saw that, we knew we had set the path, right? We knew what we wanted the show to look like and what we wanted it to feature in that way.
And we are kids of the 80s, most of us. But we also we have deep roots in like anime style stuff too. So you'll see that the art style of our show is heavily influenced by Japanese animation and stuff. And the team at Titmouse is so good at that. They're all heavily influenced by anime stuff too. So they were the perfect studio to go to. They're kind of like they're punk rock when they want to be, but they're also super artsy fartsy when they want to be.
Yeah.
And it's a really great melange of artistic
We all watch
styles.
a crap load anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As far as like fantasy as a genre goes, it's kind of a very standard expectation of what fantasy can do, and our story definitely bends those expectations. And Titmouse has been able to take that ball and run with it, and really kind of show the breadth of what can be done within fantasy in ways that, we certainly hoped we could do, but nobody I think is really able to expect.
I think that there are certain perceptions around both fantasy and then the idea of cartoons in the West. That
Yeah.
We're all used to anime, we're all used to sort of more adult storylines and really complex interpersonal.
The trick is trying to get the
relationships,
adults
bringing
around about
that into
higher generations than myself to actually watch the anime and adult cartoons that aren't Rick and Morty nonsense.
They recognized from the Kickstarter and from our fans that there was definitely a way to do the show, and then things that probably wouldn't have worked as well. So they relied on us heavily to inform them of like what are the stories we want to tell and how do we want to do it. And the great part about the cast all being executive producers is we get to know the most about each individual character. Percy's character, Taliesin's backstories are just sick and twisted and insane, and you get to have Adlib and Liam, and everybody comes in and has input over everything that we're doing. So, for the critters and for the people that support the show and wanted to make sure that it was our show, it is in every sense of the word.
That is something special and unique because for years you've all voiced other people's characters, written by other people. You, in some ways, you're a Ronin, and you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
You have a
Pirate sword.
story, but what is it like? Actually, this is your story that you own. You created these characters, and now you're adapting them for something complex like an animated show. What's that like? Ashley, let's start with you.
It's incredible. I mean, it's something that I think all of us, we've always been.
You could see the panic on Matt's face there.
You do your job, and this feels so different, and we're all so passionate about this project and the story that we've all collaboratively told together for 8 years.
Yeah. 8 years.
Yeah. But, it's really special. Like it's none of us at any point in this process have taken it for granted.
And for those of you who are just recognizing her now, yes, she plays the scientist lady on Blind Spot. You might recognize her from that.
So proud of this story that we've told.
And she has referenced Critical Role, the campaign 1, on Blind Spot several times. And Critical Role has made jokes and cracks about her disappearing to go on Blind Spot. So,
I think we've all loved a lot of the projects that we've worked. I love bringing people's robots and heroes and villains to life, but you can't really beat digging your fingers into your own character. And at least I feel more invested than I've been in anything I've ever been a part of. And we get to do it with our best friends, and we get to do it every day.
I know it is interesting because I think if you would tell most people that this show has 8 executive producers, they'd be like, how does that work? How is that not just a mess all the time? I think because we all have such a very clear vision of what we wanted to make, and we're all pretty aligned on that vision, that, I mean, it just makes the whole project that much stronger.
It's like a giant robot coming together.
Yeah.
And we got to work with the best in the industry. Like we have Brandon Auman as our showrunner. who's amazing, Chris Pronowski over at Titmouse, and you know, we just
Arthur Loftus.
yeah,
Yeah,
we brought
a lot of the artists, if they weren't fans of Critical Role before, have become fans of Critical Role now. And, I think what Ashley was saying before too really is meaningful. Like we bring a passion to the project that I think has sort of spread throughout the crew and the staff of the show, and so now it feels like everybody's treating this like it's their baby, like it's their show. And so there's a lot of love in it.
I'll still never forget going in. You know, all of us have been with each other in different recording booths on different projects through the years. It's how we met. It's how we became friends originally. But the first day we all went in together in one booth to record the first episode of this series as a family was. I will remember that.
It was surreal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we could actually give the people a little sample.
Oh, a little something.
A little something of how the magic is made.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, okay.
How would we do that? With a transition?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
That's right. Who's the best?
Dog wins. Again. Oh, fuck me. Why do we always play drinking games with a guy twice our size?
Because it's the fastest way to get drunk, obviously.
This dude's drunk. Not me. I'm drunk. I'll just go to another.
Didn't you only have one ale?
Wow!
So chunky.
Oh, watch it, bitch. Hey, you watch it, dick nose.
Easy, Grog. We don't waste our time on talking assholes, remember? Oi, Tavern Keep. Another round for Vox Machina, the greatest band of mercenaries in all the realm.
The greatest. I heard you couldn't even rescue a cow from a burning barn. Vox Machina. What a fucking joke.
Let's keep things civil, friend. We're not looking for trouble.
I'll bet you ain't. Everyone knows you're a bunch of pathetic losers who can't get a fucking job. Look at your scrawny ass. Too weak to tickle your own pickle.
You offering to help?
Yeah.
I'm only asking you to give me a hand.
I'll take his willing. Oh, can I keep this? Don't just stand there gawking, lads. Kill him!
Of course, bar fight. Oh, that is gorgeous.
That's fun. Hey, might I ask a question, Erica?
Sam.
Why was the clip selected? Why did it not have my character Scanlan?
Oh, don't you worry, Sam. I got you.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Okay.
Roll it.
That's about all. I think all that the audience could stomach of him. So yeah.
You got a little clip for the little man.
It's so great. There is even dubbing. You guys are great at dubbing, by the way.
Hey, who would have known?
Yeah. I bet you can have a lot of really good impressions. That's cool.
That's so inside baseball.
There's such a kinetic energy to recording together, and you got to do it for some of the show. What was that like? Were there things that came out in the room?
Yeah, it was amazing. When we all got together and recorded the first episode of the show, like Travis was saying before, like there was a magic in the room. It was palpable because when we started this whole adventure, this whole journey together of storytelling and playing role-playing games together, that's how we started together in a room with our friends, making each other laugh, cracking each other up and stuff. And that's what it was like to step back into the recording studio and record our show that we created with our characters and our world. We did it together, and we cracked each
And
other
then
up.
the thing hit.
It was a magical time, and yeah, it was one of the highlights of doing it.
There's also that like sense of looking around at each other and go like, this is real. This is
Yeah.
It was also like we would record it and we would record one take as it was written on the page, and then we would get another take of just like ad-libbing of what it felt like in the moment, because so much of what we do is based on improv anyway, so we would do it.
Oh god. How much of the episodes are scripted and how much is just straight to the ad-libs?
That's interesting. So a lot of it was that sort of off-the-cuff improv feel of the show. I don't know if you're allowed to say, is there anything that was ad-lib that you got into that you're like, we can't use that?
All the
Tell me, like our friend Erica.
half of the things that we said. Like 1 out of every 2 things we could use.
You just say it and go, no. Oh, no. I feel like we could make an entire second series. I mean, plus, we recorded a lot of the show together, and then the pandemic hit, and we went to remote recording, so we were all in our individual houses and in our closets with, blankets up and everything like that. And, it allowed us the opportunity to go back and find it as much as we wanted to, but also you could send in pretty much whatever you wanted to. The audio engineers or voice
Oh,
directors
no.
would go, oh God, until they found exactly what they wanted.
Oh god. Oh, those poor engineers.
Quite as much life to it. But we got great stuff.
Oh, those poor engineers. Poor engineers.
Yeah. So, did you land on the tone of the show sort of very early on, or did it kind of come out as you were writing it, as you were recording it? The idea of the fantasy and comedy.
Yeah, it was something that it took a while for us to talk about because we sort of had to have the adult conversation of what is this show actually to us, what's really important. And it was hard trying to sort of split the line of we have serious moments that really make people feel, we have hilarious comedy that's obviously just off the walls, right? And then there's also fantastical worlds that Matt has described and weaved over the years. So we had to find a way to hit each one of those things, and we did a really good job. But again, that's why there are so many descriptors when we talk about the show, because it's not just one thing. It's not just fantasy. It's not just adult. It's not just action. There's also really ridiculous comedy and humor, and just a lot of heart behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, that bar fight clip just kind of sums it up right there. You got the fantasy element, you got the action element, you got the comedy element, you got the adult element. It is just...
making sure that we can still capture
Uh,
those, give the
To be fair, that clip they showed definitely is... basically sums up Vox Machina, from what I can...
amazing.
It basically sums them up.
Wild locations. It's been a fun balance to strike, and we're real proud of it.
How do you choose between the hundreds and hundreds of hours of story and character interactions? Was there a voting process for some of it?
Yeah.
Really?
We really did send in, like, when we started, like, what are your top moments for your character that you want to see in the show, things that really struck home with you and
Stuck with us.
Yeah, I think the first day of the writer's room was basically just the writers interviewing all of us. Like, no real plot development or writing really happened on those early writing room days. It was just us trying to explain our characters and the impetus behind them, and really their wants and their
God, I'd have a...
so that they really knew what they were getting.
I suck at trying to describe my characters.
To be able to go into write for characters and then interview the characters, pretty much, for the series. It's been an odd path.
And especially since we all played them for so long, we all knew them so deeply. So we're trying to explain to a room of writers like 6 years of context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me a question. Ask me a question.
Were there things that you forgot about your characters, since it's been a little while since you got into play?
Been a while.
There's all those years.
Yeah, sure. Like if you look at the live play show as sort of like the novel that this series has been adapted from, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of playing that we went back and re-listened to try to gear up to write the series, and a lot of it is fantastic. There's moments of crisis and tragedy and amazing stuff, but then there's also episodes where we're just customizing our armor.
Yeah.
We're buying a
There
hat
is
with-
a whole episode about shopping.
Yeah. There's an episode about buying a feather for a hat. So, like, we knew we could include those moments in the series, but it was fun to go back and like re-listen to it. And
The D&D shopping episodes.
Such an intricate story, we accidentally improvisation and RPG gaming.
Mm.
And looking back at it, you know, we just were just goofing around, and we ended up creating this storyline that has real payoff and real stakes and real emotion, and it was fun to go back and watch, and it was real fun to translate to like a scripted show.
It's really interesting because the way that you play your game, you have to, even just at the table, you have to be actors and also producers and also writers and sort of like directing things, like especially Matt, you like cutting to different scenes or like fading to black. So that, in some ways, do you feel like that helped prep you for actually being in the writer's room?
I think so. I mean, yeah, there's just an inherent storytelling in what we do, and plus, you know, it was so great to have outside writers come in, give their take on, you know, the entire campaign, the arc of everything, and then let us come in and go, you know what, let's shape this, let's tweak this. You know, for the Briarwood arc, which we focus on in the first season, Taliesin obviously had to be very involved in these villains, the backstory, the complexity of Percy and everything in Whitestone. And I mean, you asked Taliesin one question, and he can give you as much information as
I will get going. I will not stop.
This is your panel.
Until the caffeine
Come on,
runs
bro.
out. I mean, that's basically.
Taliesin, are you happy with how the arc that focused on your character came out?
I am, and I will also say that there are a lot of perfect moments. There are moments that I have seen on screen where I'm like, that is better than I imagined.
Ooh, that is high praise and very dark, yeah.
Too, because the game we played together is always from the perspective of the players. In this format, animation, we get to show different points of view. We get to show sequences of villains and other.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
You know, hero characters and how they're affected by the story, how they're driving the story, and it's been really fun to explore these things, these moments and interactions that have only been in my head. Talk about it, like,
Yep.
and stuff, and actually bring them to the screen. It's really cool.
And we love our villains.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Also hot. Yeah, that's the thing. Like we've said the words Briarwood's arc a bunch of times, but like the Briarwood's arc it's rooted in like there's darkness, there's horror to it.
It's very gothic horror.
How much I can reveal or not, but like the villains of the Briarwood arc are gorgeous and also deeply complex and sophisticated. Their own goals and things that drive them, and it's just a really cool way to start the series by exploring this sort of dark fantasy and horror stuff. It's cool.
I think we're all a little bit in love with Silas. Yes.
You root for him a little bit. You're kind of like a good villain is one
Oh, yeah.
kind of like, and you're like, oh, but she's trying so hard. You just, you know, root for him.
If you could
Oh,
tell
yeah.
the story from a different perspective, they could be the heroes. You know,
Yeah.
depending on
Mm.
how you see it. So
It's really good. I think the complexity of that and the gray area that Critical Role lives in makes it just like perfect for an adult animated cartoon. We're gonna have to wrap it up here soon.
No. No, 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 no.
The people of New York don't want us to leave. The virtual people want us to keep going.
Yes, keep going, keep going.
I want you to keep going, but you know, we do all good things come to an end.
Ugh. Can we just cancel the rest of Comic-Con?
Tough to say.
Just keep it being Critical Role.
Having seen you all build this from the ground up 8 years ago, it is incredible. You have literally changed the world. You've gotten together with these people that you love, and you've told incredible stories and changed.
She's
people's
kind
lives,
of not
myself
been
included.
metaphorical there. They, because of what they've done here, they do now legitimately have a charity foundation which gets funds directed into to do stuff to change the world, to make things better. So... We're doing this now.
Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Any final goodbyes? Anything?
We do actually have one cool little thing to drop here. At the
Gimme.
all the fantastic people who came to join us. For
Give
this.
us. Give us.
Just go ahead and roll the tape.
Give us the tape. Oh. Oh. Oh, we got the trinket. Trinket is here. Oh. The threads. Those damn threads. February 4th, 2022. Oh, this is gonna be gorgeous.
Oh, come on, critters! Let me hear you make some noise!
February 4th. Okay, I'm gonna stop there now. Turn this off now. Turn that off. So, February 4th. We have a release date. We have a release date. Oh, good lordy. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Oh, it just looks absolutely stunning, gorgeous, and oh, lordy. Music. Music, the art, everything. It is just... I want it now. I want it now. Gimme. Oh, God. Well, that was the New York Comic Con Critical Role panel. Oh, good lordy. Oh, I need to double check how their what their legality rulings are regarding reactions to Vox Machina. Oh, bugger, I'm gonna have to get Amazon Prime. Shoot! Oh, I do wonder if that is gonna be a worldwide release. That's the thing. February 4th, 2022, on Amazon Video, on Amazon Prime's video thing. I do wonder if that's gonna be a worldwide release date, or if that's gonna be America first and then the rest of the world at a later date. I do wonder. Well, hopefully we'll have more news on that in the future. But for now, JaffaArchfiend, out.